Lysander Emberfall. The dust tasted of regret. It always did in the gravity canyons. I, Lysander Emberfall, spent my days mending what others broke, not structures, not machines, but relationships. Families fractured by the canyon's isolating winds, prospectors at odds over dwindling shimmerstone veins. It wasn't heroic work, not in the way the canyon ballads described it. It was necessary. But old man Tiburon's feud with his son, Jasper, felt different. It wasn't about shimmerstone or land. It was a silence so deep, so complete, it felt like a physical weight pressing down on the entire mesa. I'd tried for weeks, offering tea, stories, a listening ear. Nothing worked. Jasper wouldn't even look at his father. And that silence, it felt like a precursor to something worse. Then the tremors started. Not the usual canyon shifts, but rhythmic, deliberate pulses that resonated in your bones. The shimmerstone miners, superstitious lot they are, whispered of the canyon heartbeat, a sign of awakening. I dismissed it until the ground opened. A fissure, black and jagged, split the mesa right between Tiburon's claim and Jasper's. And in that fissure, a light. Not the glow of shimmerstone, but something older. Something that hummed with a power I'd never felt. Jasper, drawn by the light, rushed forward. Tiburon tried to stop him, shouting, but Jasper wouldn't listen. And then, the fissure began to widen. The widening fissure wasn't just swallowing rock and dust, it was pulling at the very fabric of the canyon. Strange energy currents warped the air, making compasses spin wildly. Tiburon, driven by desperation, tried to physically restrain Jasper, resulting in a brutal struggle at the edge of the abyss. The miners, panicked, began abandoning their claims, fearing a complete collapse. I tried to mediate, to pull them apart, but the energy currents threw me back, bruising and disoriented. Each attempt to reason with them, to offer a peaceful solution, was met with stubborn defiance and growing fury. The canyon was on the brink of tearing itself apart, fueled by the rage of a father and son. Old man Tiburon, during a momentary lull in the struggle, revealed something astonishing. He confessed he hadn't been angry about the shimmerstone, or about Jasper leaving to become a skytracer. He'd been terrified. Years ago, he'd stumbled upon an ancient chamber beneath the mesa, a chamber pulsing with the same energy now emanating from the fissure. He'd sealed it, believing it too dangerous to disturb, but feared Jasper, with his reckless curiosity, would find it. The fissure wasn't a natural event, it was the chamber calling to Jasper, seeking release. It wasn't about reconciliation, it was about preventing a catastrophe. The shimmerstone, the feud, everything was a distraction from the real danger beneath their feet. I tried to warn Jasper, to explain his father's revelation, but he was too far gone, mesmerized by the light. He leapt into the fissure, disappearing into the darkness. Tiburon, consumed by grief and regret, followed without hesitation. The fissure, sated, began to close, the energy currents fading. But the closing wasn't clean. It wasn't a sealing. It was a compression, a focusing of the energy into a single, blinding point. The canyon fell silent, an oppressive, hollow silence. There was no hope of rescue, no chance of finding them. The canyon, it seemed, had claimed them both. And I, the peacemaker, had failed. Standing at the edge of the sealed fissure, I realized mediation wasn't enough. Sometimes, peace isn't about resolving conflict, it's about containing it. The chamber beneath the mesa wasn't meant to be disturbed, and now, with the fissure sealed, the energy was trapped, building. It would eventually find another outlet, another way to unravel the canyon. I couldn't save Tiburon and Jasper, but I could prevent further destruction. I decided to stay, to dedicate myself to understanding the chamber, to finding a way to safely dissipate its energy, even if it meant sacrificing everything. It wasn't a choice of peace, but of preservation. Years passed. I became known as the Canyon Watcher, a solitary figure meticulously charting the energy fluctuations beneath the mesa. I learned to anticipate the chamber's surges, to channel its power into harmless displays of light and sound. The canyon, once teetering on the brink of collapse, found a fragile equilibrium. I never found a way to truly resolve the energy, but I learned to live with it, to coexist. The silence remained, but it was no longer oppressive. It was a watchful silence, a peaceful acceptance of the forces beyond my control. The dust still tasted of regret, but now, it also carried a hint of hope, a testament to the quiet resilience of a canyon and the enduring power of a peacemaker who finally understood that sometimes, the greatest peace comes from standing guard.